in the world would you go anywhere else?
Hi, I'm Angel Nava from 24 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. At 24 Hour Air, there are many reasons why you should call us. Here are just a few. 24/7 emergency service. When you need us, we're there. 8 to 8, same great rate. Evening service calls at daytime meetings.
Hey.
The Comfort Club. with
Facebook
early
gang.
service and
Good morning, guys.
Call 24
We're
Hour
gonna give away
today,
25 bucks to Ace Hardware.
Or find us
Because we've
online
got a topic today we gotta talk about.
24hourair.com.
Would you rather
And you can count on my
you know,
company because
eat a bowl full of gravel or be dragged behind a cart? No, that's not
We
what we're
follow
doing.
the seasonal water.
Yeah, those would you rather
I
books
only
are
run
fun.
a full load of laundry.
The question is this, okay, it's in the comments. Would you rather have your blinds and your appliances already in the house when you move in, like a clean new house? So you move in, the window coverings are on, the appliances are in, Andy, or, and pay a little bit more, and pay a little bit more, you're gonna pay a little bit more because it's in there. Or would you rather go and pick your own blinds and your own appliances?
The exclusive home of the
Comment, you guys comment today. Let's do this. Let's go live. Let's go live. Woo! Cheers. That's us. That's our cue.
Good morning. It is 8:35. Time to turn time over to Mr. Jeremy Larkin at St. George Real Estate Morning Drive.
We got it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's fun about Facebook Live? I just spotted that the back of my shirt was slightly untucked from the video on my computer. Thank you.
That's free.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Facebook.com. Hey, good morning to everybody. Jeremy Larkin here, the host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. Whipped in here. Gosh, I had time to spare, Jesse, when I got in here.
I noticed that, I was surprised.
Which is incredible because I did arrive at my house about 10 after 8 from the Dixie Flyers mountain bike practice this morning. We were out on Cottonwood Trail. And by the way, you guys know where the Winkle distributing is it Budweiser? Who's Winkle? Who's that? You got kind of like the beer distribution. No, I'm not talking about the liquor store, guys. Out there, but out by the Walmart distribution center.
Sure.
You go out that way, you go under the freeway, there's a tunnel, and there's a trailhead there, and it is, good grief, it's beautiful, right? Because you head up right up into the Red Cliffs and Leeds Silver Reef, kind of like those big cliffs up there. And then we rode all the way back, virtually to Washington City. Like we were looking down kind of towards, exit 13, and then we looped around with these kids.
Was it
So,
tough trail? Was it?
yeah, they're all tough. That's tough. I mean, it's fun, but I think it's a metaphor for life, kids. Nothing good in life
Is easy.
Yeah, is easy. You always have to sacrifice. And we love to have those little moments, and the kids roll their eyes. They're like, "Can we just ride?" So anyway, go Flyers. I'm a Dixie Flyer. I've got Jesse Paul. He's got his colorful summer plaid shirt on.
Yep, I'm ready to rock and
You know
roll.
what you need is some short shorts and some boat shoes, and you can do some day drinking, and you
I
can
was
just
gonna
do
do
what.
my spandex.
Isn't that what they do? I've got some people who told me that's what they do. Some spandex.
I was gonna do my spandex with this shirt, but my wife told me it wouldn't match.
Can I not be here the day you bring spandex in here?
Yeah, I'm a cyclist. I wear spandex all the time.
I was.
Well, it's different.
No, exactly. All right, guys, so we just talked to our Facebook listeners, but this is fun. Yeah, Kayla says she was having stress over that shirt. Thank you, good morning. Yes, thank you. You could have commented. Now the phone's up there.
Over my shirt?
No, over my shirt being untucked. Your
Oh.
shirt looks great,
I was
dude.
like, man, that's.
So, all right, here we go.
Complex.
So we got a question, all right, for our radio listeners.
It's a good question.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
a
it.
great question. So for our radio listeners, because we started Facebook Live before we started on the radio, if you'd like to watch this live and comment and have a chance at winning 25 bucks to Ace Hardware. And why do I go to Ace Hardware? Jesse, he doesn't know, but I'm gonna test him. Why would I choose Ace Hardware over Lowe's or Home Depot?
Because number one, it's local.
Bingo.
Number two, they have the absolute best service of any hardware store
Hands
in
down.
the world.
Hands down. I walked in there.
St. George and Hurricane Branch.
Oh yeah, I'll walk in on like the most random, a Sunday. I walked in last Sunday and I needed like a little thing. Oh, you know what I
This
needed?
one's open on Sunday?
Oh yeah, I needed this, I wanted to do it right for my kids. They're coming over to eat dinner and I needed a table cover. And you walk in and there's this older guy, down on his knees, a guy who's been projecting for 60 years probably,
Yeah.
right? Because he was 75 years old. Down on his knees, like placing parts in bins. Hey, do you know where this is? Yep, it's right over here. Takes me right over. Here's the table cover. Here's the clips that go with it. This thing's washable. This is Ace Hardware. Okay, let's come back. We're digressing. The question is this. So radio listeners, if you want to comment and try and win 25 bucks, visit facebook.com/Jeremy Larkin. Because you can't comment I guess we could have callers, but, you know, we don't have enough time ever on the show.
Right.
Would you rather, you're buying a home, you're a home buyer, you just envision the process, you're out looking around, and you're gonna buy a home that's been cleaned up and remodeled, or maybe it's a new home. Would you rather pay a little bit more and have the window, walk in with blinds on all the windows and brand new appliances sitting in the slots? Or would you rather save a little bit of money and go to, Ace Hardware doesn't sell appliances, that's ironic. Go and buy your appliances and pick your home, your window coverings, you don't have the people come out and install them a week or two or three or a month later, whatever. Would you rather, all right? I want, so this is, we're gonna get to this, okay? Today we're talking about the little real estate market that could. Let's know the story of the little engine that could, tell you.
That's the story of my life.
You know what? It is the story of your life. It is a story of your life.
Story of your mustache too?
Well, man, that thing, it's
Little
his
mustache
hair,
that
well, that little bit of hair he's got left.
Hey, I can't grow a beard, so this is my claim to fame.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. So, it is, you know, little engine that could, huffed and puffed, and, you know, he didn't blow the house down, but he huffed and puffed to get up the hill, right? And,
I think I can.
yeah, I think I can. That's exactly what he said. So, we started, you know, we started talking about this real estate market, thinking that it's been a good market for a long time.
Mhm.
And we're gonna come back to our questions in a minute, because this is gonna give some people some time to comment. To answer that question, would you rather, the would you rather question, comment facebook.com/Jeremy Larkin. Or, if you wanna hop off of Facebook, you can listen on 890 AM, of course, or 94.9 FM. So, about 2016, we started coming in the studio going, man, the market's been good for like 5 years. Well, real estate cycles are 5 to 7 years typically, right? We said, we don't know how long this thing can go.
Yep, I think that was about 2015, actually, they were really starting to think, okay, this has got to shift.
It was getting pretty hot.
Yeah.
16, 17,
Yeah.
and because I'm a Dixie High graduate, as I mentioned earlier, 18 I can count to 20, 19, this is the little market that could. The average sales price last month in Washington County was $350,996. What we really like though, and this is fun education for our listeners, what we really like is a median price. And the average, Andy, is thrown off because if you walk into a neighborhood of, $400,000 homes and you build $1 million home, what happened?
Yeah, the average.
Yeah, you threw off the average, right? So the average has been thrown off this year because we've had this, and I'm gonna use a big word, proliferation. Sometimes you don't say it. We've had a proliferation of a lot of like high-end vacation rentals,
Is that
right?
related to a plethora?
It's like, there's a plethora.
Well, and there's a
It's
lot
a
of.
cornucopia, you know what I mean,
And there's a lot
of
of
new
builds.
opportunities.
There's a lot of new builds in that 4, 5, 6.
Tons of new homes, and so they throw the average off. So we like to look at the median, and median is the middle, right?
Right.
The median sales price, and this would be probably more reflective of the regular, because by the way, they don't talk about average income, they talk about median household income. $312,000. Well, so here's where you're like, what's the point? Well, last year it was $291 was the median. That means that the median sale price in Washington County has gone up, folks, 20 grand over the last year. Over the last year when we said it couldn't, right? Okay, the average sales price went from $335 to $350. It went up $15,000. So it went up proportionally. As a percentage, that median sales price is up about 7%. And so, gosh, remember a year ago, all of our listeners, and you do, I'm sure you do if you've listened a while, and thank you for listening. Do you remember a myriad? Jessica says there's been a myriad
There it is.
of options.
Yeah.
You know, like this market just keeps on plugging and chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging. We told people a year ago, man, if you want to sell your house, you ought to sell it now.
Yeah.
Shoot, sell it today. As a matter of fact, we right now have clients looking in virtually every price range, cannot find a home, right? They can't find the right thing. It doesn't mean there isn't an inventory. There is inventory, but the key is they can't find the right thing. So if you've thought about selling a home, reach out to us. By the way, our website, we ought to tell people more frequently rather than the end of the show, is soldinstgeorge.com. You can reach out to us. We're the Larkin Group at KW Realty, and we help people, buy and sell homes every day. But, talk to us because we might have a buyer today for your house.
So what's interesting about that, Jeremy, is that even though the market keeps chugging, it doesn't mean that it hasn't shifted a little bit. So most likely what's going on is whenever you have a shift, there becomes a distance between what buyers and sellers believe the market price should be. So it's, you start to see it slow down, and that typically will start with land, I believe. So you can see our land inventory levels getting higher.
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
month.
it is.
But our single-family homes, townhomes, and that actually is going down, but the days on market is going up, so it's
Mhm.
taking longer to sell.
Absolutely.
So it is shifting, it just doesn't feel like it. You've got to really pay attention to the numbers. Like for instance, on my monthly video, I was looking at the closing ratio for a long time, and I just switched that to the pending ratio.
Okay,
Because
now
last year-
hang on.
Yeah,
I love you.
I go crazy, I know.
Now Jesse's like, what you need to do is pull the flux capacitor out of there and get that thing up to 85 miles per hour. Okay, let's get in English for a second.
So,
He stopped looking at how many homes are selling as a percentage of how many homes are on the market,
closed.
right?
I'm looking
Closed.
at-
He's now looking at how many are under contract
contract,
as a
so-
percentage.
so-
Like how many, as a percentage of how many homes are for sale, is
Right.
this what you're saying?
Yes.
What, like say there's 100 homes for sale, but there's 30 with a pending, an offer on them?
Right,
We
that's
call that a 30%
30%
pending ratio. Okay, all right,
So
we're back.
right now,
I brought
in
us back.
Washington County, that's almost 37%, 36.9.
Yep,
Last year at this time, it was more like 60%.
yeah, hello, right?
Yes.
So, gang, it's the real estate market that could, and we just, I mean, again, if you just want a couple little pieces. Median sales price is up 7%, average sales price is up 5% over the last 12 months. Buyers are still flooding into this market. I get this one all the time. Are you sure homes sell during the summer? Yeah, I'm very sure, mainly because we're selling them every day. And number two, I actually had a client who challenged me on this recently. He said, would somebody buy a big house like mine? It's a 5,500 square foot cool house in Bloomington Hills. And an older house. And because it's an older house, it's 5,500 feet for like $499. Like that's a lot of square footage for that price. I said, yeah, and he said, but really in the summer, and we pulled the data, the biggest months for his price range, like 500, 600,000, 400 to 600,000, are May, June, July. Those are the biggest months. And one of the factors in that, right, is a lot of families are moving around in the summer.
Yes.
School's out, trying to make a move. So, Jesse, it's a good market, right?
It definitely is, even though it is slowing down a little bit, it
Yeah.
is starting to,
It's catching up a little bit.
but we're still increasing, see, because until they actually start raising interest rates, I think this will continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's gonna be our next.
By the way,
Slow down.
Dave Guyman, good morning, Dave, says hoping for a market correction in the next few years. It's a good time to sell, no doubt. Gosh, me too. And people say, correction, why would you want that? Because it's out of hand. I mean, you can't have it next year be 375 and the year after that be 400 and then 420. We literally, I mean, you just price people out of the market,
Mhm.
right, Jesse? So let's talk about this question. If you want to win 25 bucks Days Hardware, you're gonna have to comment, facebook.com/Jeremy Larkin, comment on our live feed. The question, so would you rather? Anybody out there have kids who read the would you rather books? Like, would you rather like drink a cup full of snot or, like, right?
Wow.
Or vomit, like it's that
Wow.
kind of thing. Oh, they're
He-
so fun.
He just went there.
You do one, you
Went
probably
there.
don't do the
Oh,
other
those
one,
are so
yes.
fun. Just Google would you rather. They are so fun. And then we start to giggle and we just go on and on and on. I got 12 and 14-year-old boys too, so.
Yeah, the days.
Yep. Would you rather, if you're out buying a house, move into a house that has the appliances and window coverings in, pay a little more? Or would you rather pick the appliances and window coverings? Well, answer that question. Why, Jesse? Why are we talking about this? We got a
Well,
situation.
Well, this morning I was out doing a video on one of my listings, just trying to make sure that
It
we're
is,
marketing.
as I like to say, my friends, darling.
It
A little
is a
cottage in
cute-
Leeds.
Yeah, cute little house. But we were walking through it, and man, he's done such a great job. But there's no window coverings, and I just thought, geez, this would be so much better. Because when a buyer walks in the house, we want them to go, wow. Now, they're gonna go wow until they look at all the windows.
Correct.
And then-
And why is that?
Because it's just plain, it's just bland, so this is deeper than what you would want, because I'm looking at this from the selling the house perspective. Will a buyer pay more for a home that is just popping, or a home where they just have to walk through it and go, oh, I need to do that, oh, I need to do that, oh, I need to do that. So they start adding those up in their head, and even if it's priced right, they'll start emotionally taking it off the price.
Andy, have you ever,
Yes.
this is not a would you rather,
Yes.
have you ever gone to a restaurant, you looked at the stuff online, you looked at the menu, the photos looked really good, product wasn't what you thought it was, once you
Sure.
got on your plate?
Sure. It happens all the time.
Right, and it's a letdown. And then at that point, it's really hard to enjoy, right? Because your expectations have now been, now if you were like, it's McDonald's, what can I even expect? And you walked in, they had you this like beautiful burger, you'd say, well, had a situation yesterday, you know who you are listening right now? Friend of mine, important person in my life, orders something online, she gets home, it says, your package was delivered to your front door. It's not there. Well, what's going on right now, guys, on everyone's front doors we're hearing about?
Porch pirates.
Porch pirates, right? They're
Yeah.
taking the stuff. Well, ultimately, she lucked out, and it was in the neighbor's house, in another unit, they picked it up, and they had, maybe they're gonna use it. No, they weren't, they're good, I'm sure they're good people. But it wasn't about the $50. And I said, this wasn't about $50 that you spent. It's why was she so disappointed? Because she was coming home thinking she was getting the box.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh my gosh, is this about $50? Probably not. It's this expectation, was so excited to get her new Tonka trucks that she ordered, her new Lego sets,
Good point.
right? So come back here. Jesse, these people are showing up this home in Leeds. This is a beautiful home in Leeds. But it's about 1,000 square feet, right?
Yep.
And it's $190,000. Now you go, how could that be $200,000? Remember, economies of scale, tiny house, there's almost no single family homes under 200 in the county.
Well, and honestly,
Right.
everything's new. It's got a new roof, new flooring, new paint.
And
new-
it's HGTV,
new-
so, right?
it's-
It looks like HGTV, it's green, the trees, and then they walk
So
in,
awesome.
okay, they look at the menu, the expectations are high, they've got the FedEx notification on their phone, hey, package is on your front door. When you get home, you got your new yoga mat, everything's gonna be good, life's good, and then guess what happens? They walk in and they go, man, it really looked good in the pictures because they were taken by a professional photographer who's using this like 2 billion pixel camera. Okay, good job, Sean Stallard, thank you.
He does a
Sean
great
takes these
job.
great photos, they walk in, it's kind of dusty because hey, we're flipping homes and maybe it's been a few months since we've cleaned it, it's kind of dusty. And then you walk in the bathrooms and there's no shower curtain. And there's no color, it's really plain. And then you walk in the living room and the kitchen and you look at the windows. And you go, oh man, he didn't replace the windows. Now, he might have spent 60 grand renovating it, but now, Jesse, he says, that's like $5 grand to replace the windows.
Yeah.
And then what do they start to notice? Now that they're thinking that, what else do they notice?
You name it, the cooler that's coming, the backyard that's septic. There's a lot of things,
Do you
but
see what happens?
it started at the front door.
Mhm.
Because we wowed them at the front porch, but then as soon as we walked through,
Who listening out there, does anyone know why the homes at the Parade of Homes are so stunning? Have you ever thought,
every detail is done.
you know when you watch a drama or a thriller and you go, what if the music were turned off right now, this movie would suck?
Yeah.
That's what the Parade of Homes is. By the way, a lot of those homes, they are done beautifully. I've seen some of those empty, because they don't sell during the parade, and then they take all the furniture and decor out, and guess what they look like? A new home.
Kind of plain, yeah.
A new home, right? Because it's gray and white. The big thing right now is gray and white. Well, they're pretty drab when you take all the stuff out. So what Jesse is telling our client, he said he wanted to build a back porch. And instead of spending $5 grand on a back porch, what are you gonna tell him to do?
He probably could have done it for $1,000,
Okay.
it's just a deck.
Because it's,
a
okay,
small deck.
it's gonna cost, okay, $1,500. Instead of spending $1,500 on a porch, what are you gonna tell him to do?
I think it's gonna make more sense to spend $500 on the blinds, and let's get a shower curtain in there. Let's really make it
And some
look
hand towels,
decorated.
and towels on the hooks,
Yeah.
and a couple of little tiny decor items.
And it's gonna make such a big difference.
And we asked the question, why do people care that much? Because they have this expectation that they saw, that was in their mind. And then when they get there, it's such a letdown, okay?
Mhm.
So we have another client, Jeff, good morning to you, Jeff Jensen, working with a great family. And man, I wish they were listening right now, I should have told them to listen. They got a $600,000 home on an acre off of River Road. It's awesome. It's built in the 1990s, they went in, they spent probably $10,000 at least carpeting and painting the entire house so fresh. Here's the problem. In the house, Andy, are Whirlpool white appliances that aren't white anymore.
They're dingy.
They're dingy.
Mhm.
For original appliances, 25 years old, and like the faceplate's missing from the bottom of the dishwasher. And they said, well, we spent enough money as a family, we don't want to put more money.
Mhm.
So they carpeted and painted this house. It's over $500,000, and they don't want to drop $1,500 at Lowe's to put appliances in. That's gonna hurt them, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's gonna hurt them by about 10 grand.
Is that crazy?
It's just true.
I think it's real, man. I think it's real. Dave commented again, we need more homes in St. George with 12-car garages. Dave, you heard us talk about Dixie Springs, Jeannie's home that has a 3-car garage on the home, and then a 4-car in the detached garage, which is like a giant RV garage a little bit. We had 4 offers in the first week at $800,000.
Wow.
4 offers. So let's talk about these comments. What are people saying, Jesse? What are people saying? Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, what are we looking at? What are our responses this morning? And we will draw when the show's over. What do you think, guys? Would you rather? Okay.
Somebody said that they love choosing housey stuff.
Yeah, that was Erin, was it not?
No, Ally.
Oh, Allie, what'd she say?
She said, she wants it move-in ready, but I'm not great at choosing housing stuff, that's what it says.
Yeah.
Richard says, I would agree with Jesse that since I can fix anything ever, haha, oh, I can't. I need new glasses. Let's just bring it out there.
Wow. I know. Look, man. I know things out at Pioche, Nevada, or wherever. No, I'm teasing.
I'm
you.
like, wow, I can't even see those.
So, so we're seeing a variety. You know, Erin, one of our clients' friends, said, "Well, I want to choose everything. I want to
Yep.
choose everything."
Yep.
And some people will say, "I'd rather wait."
Well,
Like,
and that's an interesting, the reason they wanna choose everything is because buyers believe if they have to choose everything, they will get a much better deal.
correct.
It's an old adage when we're in the buyer's state of mind that the worse the house is, the better deal we'll get.
3 minutes.
So,
Here's the
Is it
problem
gonna
with that.
hurt them?
Here's the problem with that. Do you know that there isn't a deal, there's not a really great deal on appliances out there? I mean, there is, I guess, if you wanna like get on a sale, but appliances are appliances. There's not a lot of labor in that, and most of the people you buy appliances from just install them for you. Blinds cost what blinds cost unless you go to 3dayblinds.com or whatever and install them yourself.
they do, but in a buyer's mind, if they cost 500, they're gonna take off 1,000.
What else are people saying? So my Facebook feed is locked up on my laptop. Give us another answer. Jesse, can you read?
Okay,
I'm
so.
teasing
I-
him. His
well,
eyes
I
won't work.
I actually just expanded it.
Perfect, perfect.
Let's see here.
So,
This
guys,
is what-
We're gonna wrap up after this. Would you rather, right, would you rather have, and Andy, what would you rather have?
Oh, I was waiting for you to ask me. I absolutely want my house ready to go. I am not the guy, I don't wanna pick every appliance, I don't wanna pick every blank covering. I want my house ready to go. And not only for eye appeal, but the fact that I don't wanna have to deal with all that stuff.
The majority are saying they want it ready.
Is this interesting? Here we go. Here's our comments. Andy, bingo. Look, you don't wanna deal with it, okay? Jesse says, I'd rather have a move-in ready. That's Jesse. I said, even though I really like decor and this process, if I'm out buying a home and I have a family and I'm gonna move in 30 days, I want that stuff done. I don't wanna mess with it. I don't wanna think about it. I don't wanna play with it. There's nothing I want to do, right? Erin said, my wife and I like to customize spaces and make them our own. We prefer to choose our options. Go, Jeremy. Thank you, sir. Richard, yep, you're right. You can't fix anything. He's just like me. I can't change a tire. I mean, like I can go that far. So as we look through this, a lot of people want to do their own thing. They want to do their own thing. 1 minute, guys. We're gonna draw after the show. Thank you for commenting. If you are thinking about selling a house, okay, or buying a house, because it's such a weird market and it can be such a good time. If it's time for you to buy or sell, you just buy or sell. You don't get caught up in trying to time the market. Visit us at soldinstgeorge.com, soldinstgeorge.com. We can even have our, through our, we just got a rocket listing program, have one of our investors make an instant cash offer on your property. Thank you, Andy.
That's fun.
So thank you for coming in this morning. I'm just gonna put new appliances in the house. I just
Yeah, appreciate it. Spend 10 grand on me,
I was, hey, look, I was cross, it was a joke, okay? Thanks, you guys. Have an amazing Thursday, an amazing summer, because it feels like summer.
All right.
Over and out. Woo!
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't make mine expand. It just was locked.